will also engage with men to understand the need to actually carry women in all our communities. It is very important. At home, very important we engage our women. Like for example, when we look at he or she approach, establish safe spaces for men to reflect on power, masculinity, and gender equality, and equity at the same time. Topics include decision making and sexual or gender-based violence. Because of the nature of time, even there are abuses in our communities, we find it difficult to voice it out or to tell that look, something happened like this, action needs to be taken. There are some people that go away with crime. So it is important that men actually take responsibility and ensure that actions are taken on this type of thing. So when we engage with men as well to ensure that they support the women. Involve leaders, especially traditional leaders, who are also here, and to foster accountability and change in our communities. Then we'll build network. It's one thing to build capacity or to involve yourself in entrepreneurship. It's another thing to also link yourself with the available markets to ensure that your product actually is being prioritized. You may be good at producing something. You may be good at poultry farming, for example. But if you don't know how to sell the product, you will find it difficult. So networking will be part of the things that the gender company will be doing, and that will also help our beneficiaries. Mobilization of men actively support women's participation in community processes. So these are some of the things that will be done under the gender company, together with the economic participation team. I'm sure during discussions, those that are experts in gender, they may say more about this one. Then output 4 is a social protection system strengthening. We have commenced a lot of activities under this one. For example, we have already laid ground to have a critical working group for social protection in the state. It was started before by SDF, and along the line, most of our work as development partners it brings on funding. So if there is no funding, we cannot continue with the work. So we are continuing from where they stop, so that there is this collaboration and continuity in our activity. We will not start from the beginning, but from where they stop, and then we continue. So the capacities of state institutions to build an inclusive, transparent, and accountable social protection system are improved. That is our target at the end of the program. And we've been collaborating with a lot of stakeholders who are in the social protection system in both Adamawa and Borno to ensure that we are achieving of this output. Part of the things that we will be doing under this output is capacity building for state government officials. That is around social protection, support for policy, legal, and financing framework. For example, we'll be looking at social protection policies, social protection laws. If they are in existence, then fine. If there are amendments that we need to lobby in state assemblies, we do the amendment, fine. We collaborate with the state government officials to ensure that this is actualized. If there are policies that are not in existence, they are existing in other states or at the national level, and it is important for us at the state level also, that will be done also, together with the state officials. We'll also establish monitoring mechanisms to ensure that whatever we do, together with the civil society organization we have here, is actually done accordingly and based on what is needed in our context. Then organization development as well. Of course, will be, just like I mentioned, civil society engagement for monitoring purpose and promoting accountability. And then beneficiary identification also. We'll be looking at updating the social register for both Adamawa and Borno. Then we have social register national level, and then we have state level who are in charge of social protection, and SOCO is also under them to ensure that the state register is actually updated. We are targeting 1.4 million individuals for both Adamawa and Borno and Kenya. So we'll also be talking about data management. Of course, we have started that one as well. In fact, just to be sure, in Adamawa, they have what we call data tracking system in place at the Planning Commission. But for Borno, we don't have it. We are working on it. And I think the consultancy contract has already set the third step. We are almost about to finalize the consultancy agreement. Coordinator for data center is here. Maybe later you can concentrate on that. So that is social protection system strategy. The last social protection in action out of 5.
It's a light issue, but it's better. It's a light issue.
And then graduation approach. I will look at poverty graduation finance. It's not that we graduate from poverty and become rich and easy, but from one step to another step. There is a way the experts use to measure the level from level 1, 2, 3,
so what I'm thinking
5, 5, not to
yeah, we should use this
so if, for example, someone is at an extreme poor, it is expected at the end of the program with the support,
it's better if this is on this, so we can speak.
That's what we mean by graduation this step. So it's not that the person will be moved out of poverty completely. We cannot do that. But from one step to another step. So this, it has already commented. We have already commented the concept. It will be done in MMC and JNN, Bill and Marshall. These are some of the few places that we can do activities where we can engage people without too much fear because it is development work. But for social protection, like the social register I mentioned, is across almost all the local government of Borno and Adamawa, where we'll be updating the household and individual in the social register. So this is just to make the application to understand that we are into almost all the local government of Borno and Adamawa. Then, just like I mentioned, we'll be looking at short response mechanism, provide assistance during extension. We have already developed the anticipation action plan for both Borno and Adamawa. I think Adamawa, they are validated, if I am not mistaken, is for Borno, some of the stakeholders here will be invited to the next week. We will also do something to the validation of jobs to ensure that it is validated by the stakeholders and accepted by the stakeholders so that the ownership is there and then the document is used when there is a shock, especially drone and the rest that have affected us here in our context. We'll also be looking at evidence and scale. You know, it is one thing to pilot something. Just like I mentioned, the graduation approach is a pilot action for 18 months. So it is one thing to pilot it. It is another thing to document evidence for future implementation. So while we are implementing, we'll be documenting license land from this implementation for future scale together with the rest of the stakeholders. So we generate business land from the pilot program and share findings at state and federal level. So that future implementation now we already have planning and then we will not repeat some of the things that are not supposed to be repeated. We also advise on scaling and integrating pilots into state level social protection system so that in there will be ownership by the state government. So these are the 5 outputs of the program. And we are implementing this program with a lot of partners. Nuru, for example, is implementing, is leading the sustain program. We have NRC leading the youth program here in NFC and Jenny, and then we have other partners as well, like Oxfam is implementing governance program. In the future also we have local organizations. I know we have CSOs that will be implementing local subsidies in NFC and Jenny, that they are all in pipeline, and hopefully before the end of the year will complete and
I
start
check one too.
implementation. Now, it is good to understand that
I check
before
one
you
too.
come up with any program, you must have looked at the different policy frameworks that guide implementation of development work in Nigeria or in the world in general. So these are some of the policy frameworks that this program actually align to, like the SDGs, the global and regional alliance, and then the national policy that we have here in Nigeria. These are some of the policy frameworks that guiding the creation, or let me put it as creation of this program. And also, after a lot of discussions with stakeholders in both Adamawa and Borno, that we came up with this program. Before I hand over the mic, just to let you know, from our part, while I know Nuru Nigeria is an international organization, international NGO, but for us, GIZ, just so people know and understand, we are not NGO. We used to find it difficult to explain to people that GIZ is not an NGO. But we have to say, we are a company. We work for both profit and non-profit. You can ask us to work for you, you pay us, and then we channel the money to the non-profit section of our company. So it is important because in the presence of our donors or in the presence of our organs coming from Abuja, the moment GIZ is being mentioned as NGO, they become irritated as if we in the field don't inform stakeholders that GIZ is actually not an NGO. So we are not an NGO. It is a German company working with the Nigerian government in order to support vulnerable people and communities. I just thought that it is important for me to make this announcement at this juncture so that we know actually what GIZ is and what is GIZ doing. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your attention. And thank you, the field office coordinator, Mr. Boni Umar Malamodu, for that welcoming, for that presentation and overview. So, ladies and gentlemen, we would just like to announce that if you'd like to use the exits, there are 3 of them. We have one over there to the left, one to the right, and there is one behind over there. And if you wish to use the restrooms, there are 2 behind there. You walk out of your left and right. There are restrooms there. Thank you. Just to recap a little bit, because I love the presentation that the coordinator made. And from that presentation, I was happy that we are covering almost the whole of Adamawa and Borno State local government areas, because what it means is that the full impact of the activities will be felt in all the local government areas, and we're happy about that. And I think we should give a round of applause to our donors, the European Union and also the German Corporation, for their generosity to ensure that this activity happens. Thank you very much. So on our agenda, the next item we have is welcome address and opening remark, and this will be done by someone who is very old and a resilient leader as well. Please join me to welcome the Managing Director of Nuru Nigeria to the stage, Mrs. Zaidi.
Ina mu jama'a da malam kuni na magana sai na duka ko mata za mu fara buɗa yace project din don mu ne aka kawo sai na ga mata kuma ba su taka ma malam ba very interesting. This presentation, yes, over 30 million euros. Over 30 million euros is actually 6 trillion naira. Only the German government is contributing 6 trillion naira to Nigeria as a means of support. It is not easy for you to have a project of 6 trillion naira in a country. And the good thing about this project is that it's covering 48 local governments. It started since 2021, like he has said, covering 48 local governments, 27 from Borno State, and 21 from Adamawa State. I am really excited to be here with all of you this morning. Just before I start my speech, in the nasan cewa Allah ya sama sustain project albarka shine da na ga ruwan sama da yake soko wannan, kuma ana maganan agriculture. Ana maganan agriculture sai ga albarkar ruwan sama, na san cewa Allah ya riga da ya sama project din albarka. His Excellency the Deputy Governor of Borno State, Right Honorable Umar Usman Kadafur, the Overseeing Commissioner, Ministry for Livestock and Fisheries Development, ably represented by Dr. Emmanuel Kadal, the Honorable Commissioners present here from various ministries that are well represented, the Executive Secretary, Borno State Agency for Coordination of Sustainable Development and Humanitarian Response, Dr. Babakura Mamangadai, ably represented by Alhaji Maji Umar Mustafa, the Data Center Manager, who is ably seated here. I must commend this particular ministry because I remember our first engagement with them. The first question they asked is it in alignment with the Borno State development agenda? So these are people who really want the vision of their state incorporated into every project. Please, a round of applause for them. The board chair of Nuru Nigeria, Barrister Andy Days, His Royal Highness the Ganwari of Ganye from Adamawa State, Alhaji Umaru Adamu Sanda, ably represented by Engineer Othman Hassan, who is the Tafida of Ganye, my own father, because I'm also from Adamawa State. So, anche so ne amason kai yafi, sai ku tafa ma babana tunda yana gidan nan. His Royal Highness, the District Head of Biu East, the District Head of Wandali, the District Head of Gutsi, and the District Head of Tango, the Lawan of Yawi, our fathers, all the district heads and Royal Highnesses here. I always say, without you, there is no way development in the community can happen. Kune ido, kune gadon bayanmu, inyezo ta harkan community work, and we are very proud to be affiliated with you. For the success Nuru Nigeria has recorded in its work since 2018 is because we have Royal Highnesses and our fathers from various rural areas supporting our activities. Please, a round of applause for them. Mun san cewa kun bar kiwon jama'a, kun bar gidajenku, kun bar ayyukan gona, kun zo kun zanna tare da mu anan muna ce mun gode. Our partners from the German Agency for Development, which is GIZ, thank you so much for your support from the initiation stage of this project. I remember they led a delegation from Germany and the European Union to see the executive governor of Borno State to make sure that this project happens in Borno State. A round of applause for GIZ. A lot of them are here. Our partners from African Nature Investors and our friends from the Norwegian Refugee Council, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It is my honor to stand before you today as the official launch of Sustain Nigeria project here in Borno State. A project born out of the shared vision to build resilience, promote inclusion, and transform agribusiness. As Nigerians, we know that agriculture is the bedrock of development for our country. Agriculture actually contributes over 20% to our national GDP, as against oil and gas that contributes 7% to the national GDP of our country. This project is targeting vulnerable communities of northeastern Nigeria, as its title implies, strengthening underserved communities through sustainable and transformative agribusiness innovation in northeast Nigeria. Sustain Nigeria project. The Sustain Nigeria project is a continuation of the work of Nuru Nigeria. Nuru Nigeria has always been committed to build a resilience corridor in northeastern Nigeria. It is also an elevation of our work, which has been done in Adamawa State, and now it is beginning to start in Borno State. Nuru Nigeria is very intentional about community-led development, and that's why we are excited to work with ministries and departments of government, community leaders, because we believe that it's only the community that understands the solution to its own problem, and it's only the community that can be able to solve its problem. So our vision is community-led, community-sustained, and community-driven agribusiness transformation. We are grateful for the generous funding from the German Federal Ministry of Economic Cooperation, BMZ, and the European Union, EU, and in close collaboration with GIZ, the German Development Agency. We are expanding our frontiers of what we have been doing as an amazing work that has served 36,000 individuals in Adamawa State to now Borno State. The Sustain Nigeria project is a core component of the Sustainable Social Protection and Participation project, SUSI project implemented by GIZ Nigeria. But why does Sustain Nigeria project really matters? Why? This is the question we always ask ourselves when a project is starting. Why does the project matter? Why in Nigeria? Why in northeast Nigeria? Why in Borno State? And why in Adamawa State? It matters because communities that have weathered the storm of conflicts and have weathered the storm of climate shocks are yet to rebuild. It is really difficult to go after an insurgent activity, then now bouncing from it, we are now confronted with climate shocks. Last year, I remember how Maiduguri was looking by this time because of the flooding event. And this is why projects like this really matters. It also matters because 60% of the smallholder farmers in the region that we serve are women. It's either women are involved in planting, active cultivation, processing, or post-harvest management. So this project actually matters. It also matters because without access to finance, and the youth that we share in the vision of the government of Nigeria for agricultural-led economic growth and development. The Sustain Nigeria project will focus on the creation of agribusiness cooperative, increasing access to safe, secure, and affordable financial services, promotion of climate-smart agriculture, and ensuring youths are involved in green jobs, that our young people are gainfully employed through the green economy. Sustain is going to support directly over 2,000 farmers, strengthening food system, promoting conservation, and rebuilding social cohesion in Biu, Kwayakusar, and Tongo local governments of Adamawa and Borno State. But Sustain Project is not an island of its own. It is working alongside our partner intervention, like Malam Goni has mentioned, that are working in social protection and social inclusion in northern part of Borno, including Jere, Maiduguri Metropolitan Council, Mafa, and Konduga. This project is not an island. It is in alignment with Borno State Development Plan and Adamawa State Durable Solution Policy, and it also advances the vision of the federal government of Nigeria's development agenda, particularly Vision 2050. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our partners, GIZ, the European Union, and the German people, BMZ, for believing in the power of community-led transformation, for not just believing in it, but investing in it. I would like to also say to the Adamawa State Government and the Borno State Government that with your trust and collaboration, we will be able to achieve what Sustain Project is set to achieve. And to our traditional leaders, our fathers, we want to say thank you so much for the support and the insight that you have been providing to us. Your guidance is one thing that we don't take for granted. To the farmers and agribusiness entrepreneurs that we are going to be working with, men, women, young people, people living with disability, internally displaced people, returnees, this project is for all of us. It is our own future to shape. Let us join our hands together to ensure that we achieve all the objectives of the project. Thank you so much, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much. Thank you, the Managing Director, Nuru Nigeria. Please, a round of applause for her again. Mungode sosai. Kamin nan ci gaba na recognizing iyayenta waɗanda suke nan, sai ni na tuna na yi sabi iyaye a nan Borno, ya muku labari ba. Kwanaki watan jiyan da ya wuce nan muka zo Borno, mun zo mun yi advocacy da muka je district da muka je fadan shi district head na biyu da kuma na Gusi da na Kwaya kusa na yi renouncing kuma da na fito ku mance kawai ni yanzu na zama yar su ne kawai a nan biyu. Thank you very much. So yanzu muna so mu ci gaba. The next item, we are swapping some two things that we have. Muna so mu dauki shi alignment of Sustain Project with Borno State Development Plan daga wurin shi Leadership and Partnership Director na Nuru Nigeria. I always used to tease him that he is the only Nuru Nigeria staff with a foreign agency's title. Ana kiran title na shi LAPD, wato Leadership and Partnership Director na Nuru Nigeria kenan. So we would like to take the of the Sustain Project with Borno State Development Plan from the LAPD, Nuru Nigeria. Thank you.
All right. Still standing on the existing protocol, I would like to say good afternoon to everyone. And earlier before me, I would say the field coordinator for GIZ was here before us and made a presentation, and he was making mention of how they have been building on the existing plans of existing development plan for Borno State government. And also, while he was speaking, he said, Nuru Nigeria is an international organization. We are not, we are a local organization, Nuru Nigeria, as the name implies. We are registered with the Nigerian government, and we have been in existence, especially in our state, and we are now scaling into Borno. We are actually a local organization led by Nigerians, and just as my managing director was coming up earlier and doing her introductions, she was able to welcome and introduce who is here seated with us. So Nuru Nigeria is a local organization. Thank you, Mr. Goni, for bringing us to the international. While my sorry for the obstructions. We want our friends to capture everything that is here. Just as I was introduced, I am Simon Eli. I am the Leadership and Partnership Director for Nuru Nigeria. For everywhere, or let me use the example of an electronics. Whenever we purchase an electronic, there is a little paper that comes in it. And that paper is referred to as what? The manual, right? Likewise, development. I really respect the fact when we were making plans of scaling to Borno State, we were first pointed back to what I will refer to as a manual. That's the Borno State Development Plan. Because you cannot just implement on the air. You have to do on the existing plans that the government has already put in place. And that is why I am here this afternoon, or this morning rather, to see how we have, Nuru Nigeria have been able to align its project, sustained project, to the Borno State development, to the Borno State, to the Borno State development. We will take a look at the first slide there. We were faced with a manual, or I will say a development plan document, which is a 25-year development plan for the development of Borno State. Borno State Development Plan, which is a long-term development, is built as both a conflict and post-conflict development plan aimed as laying solid foundation and engendering steady, sustainable development. That is to say, for every development which is coming into the state, you need to align to the vision and the missions that are already put in place while this development plan was developed. We would be looking at the vision of this development plan, which is already keen to the vision and mission of what Nuru Nigeria has been doing. We will see there is the vision. Borno State Development Plan envisions to secure a competitive agribusiness and commercial hub anchored on prosperous people. We have been speaking about agriculture. Why? Because Nuru Nigeria's intervention is majorly into agriculture and the development of agribusinesses. Over years in Adamawa State, we have successfully been able to aggregate farmers into little groups, and then went ahead and also registered them as farmer cooperatives or agribusinesses. And we have over 20 of them who are registered with the government, recognized by the government, are already benefiting from interventions. These cooperatives or agribusinesses have been successfully operating locally, and also they have been sustained by the community people. That is to say, we are already on the path of sustainability, and that is why we are saying we are keen into the development plan of Borno State. The mission of this development plan, as we can see, is the restoration of age-old honor, dignity and prosperity of the state, while ensuring that all citizens and future generations have easy access to basic necessity of life. This is not far from the definition of sustainable development, the development for the future generation. That is to say that whatsoever Nuru Nigeria will be building on the foundation of the Borno State Development Plan is going to work towards the sustainability of the future generation. Next slide. While going through this document, the Borno State Development Plan, we were very, very interested to find the 5 inclusive economic, social, and development transformative drivers pillars. You could see from the first one there we have human capital development. We all agree that a nation that is not educated in whatsoever form will not really thrive well. And that is why you will find out that there are so many illegalities finding in a society where there is a very bad level of education. No matter the kind of education, be it formal or informal, you realize that it is one of the very, very big pillars that we have that stands as a development, or rather I would say a sustainability for every society. Looking at the second one there, we have leadership in agriculture. This is very, very key for us. Nuru Nigeria operates in different forms, whereby one of the very major or key activities Nuru Nigeria does with smallholder farmers is building the capacity of farmers. So linking this to the first pillar, you now realize leadership in agriculture cannot really stand without capacity building. Likewise, leadership in agriculture cannot stand without, human capital development cannot really thrive without very good leadership. Nuru Nigeria has been able to build the capacity of local leaders in various forms in the communities where we have been working in Adamawa State. And let me tell you today that these farmer groups or cooperatives that we have already established in Adamawa State are driven locally, and they have local leadership sustaining their activities. They are already making profits at the moment. After my presentation, the project coordinator will come and give us more details about what I am talking about. Looking at the healthcare citizenry, this does not really key into what we, Nuru Nigeria, will be doing. However, looking at our nutrition-sensitive programming, we would also say that our activity on this sustained project is going to immensely contribute to the well-being and the healthcare of the communities we are going to serve. Sustainable environment. You will all believe and agree with me that the weather pattern has changed. That means that we have to do something about what is happening to the weather. The environment where we are living, the activities we carry out on this environment are actually contributing either positively or negatively to the environment or to the weather which we are experiencing presently. Sustained project is going to work with farmers through various trainings that are climate smart, and we will be showing them different methods that are climate smart, which will also help in conserving or in supporting or contributing to the conservation of the environment where we serve. Regional trade hubs, yes, this is also part of what Nuru Nigeria will be leveraging on, as we will also be connecting farmers or these agribusinesses to input and markets and output markets. Next slide, please. Looking at the agricultural activities happening in Borno State, in the Borno State Development Manual, we have seen that agriculture is the heart of inclusive development story of Borno State. The inclusive development that we have seen that people always share with us is not far from the major activity that is happening in Borno State. With a total land area of over 72,000 kilometers square, agriculture has thrived so well in Borno State. However, we have seen that just as it is contained in the Borno State Development Plan, there are challenges that have in one way or another slowed down the success or the plans that are set in place. However, that is why we will say Sustain Project is coming to contribute its own part in ensuring that the agricultural activities in Borno State or in places that we are going to serve are also going to serve the communities and ensure that these people or the farmers in these communities are going to serve as agribusinesses who will be able to take themselves out of poverty and also build financial resilience. One of the key baselines that we have found in the Borno State Development Plan, which I made mention here is, or I outlined here is, we have seen that there are some information that we, Nuru Nigeria, found so key, and we will be able to base on it, like on the issue of agricultural production and productivity, where we have a data talking about the percentages as compared to the national level. We have sheep population as a percentage of national is at 5.9. That's from Borno State. We have groundnut production as at 4.7 from the national population from Borno State. However, we have seen that there is a summary of the key challenges that are actually affecting or limiting some of the successes that are on ground. One of the key challenges here that is outlined in the Borno State Development Plan, which I have pointed out here, is lack of knowledge on modern techniques or practices. Sustain Project is going to build capacity of farmers so well in climate smart practices, whereby it's going to contribute to the knowledge and also to the conservation of the environment where we are working. Also, another key challenge there is poor access to agricultural equipment. We have seen that this is also a challenge, and you will agree with me that this is almost found in everywhere, whereby most of our farmers have this as a challenge. Apart from inputs, you will now find that access to some mechanics or some equipment in agriculture has also served as a challenge. Looking at the first pillar which I was talking about, I pointed out human capital development. Sustain projects shall contribute to creating a peaceful, skilled, cohesive environment in which people can learn rapidly, apply new ideas, build competencies and skills to sustain a purposeful life through climate smart trade for smallholder farmers. Also, looking at an equitable and secure society with positive social cohesion in which households are equipped and supported through transformative agribusinesses. When Nuru Nigeria started its implementation in Adamawa State, we were located in a very fragile community where social cohesion has diminished. But we are glad to say now that the government has been able to restore peace and order in those areas. Our activities, which we implemented, has been able to contribute to the social cohesion of people in these communities. Next slide, please. Looking at the leadership in agriculture, Sustain projects shall support to optimize and ensure a secured agricultural value chain aimed at enhancing outputs. Also, Sustain projects shall promote and foster an inclusive and participatory approach to ensuring food security and financial resilience. We have been talking about agriculture. It's all boiling down to food security. You will all agree with me that if the food reserves we have in this country is depleted, then there's going to be a big challenge. One or two practices that we carry out under agriculture in our homes in small scales or in large scales is in one way or the other contributing to the economy and also the food security of the nation. Likewise, the Sustain project is going to work towards this contribution. Next slide, please. Also, looking at the sustainable environment, Sustain projects shall contribute to the promotion of a sustainable environment with conservation and preservation at the heart of every action in our pursuit of inclusive social and economic development for us and the future generation. Part of this Sustain project will be implemented in southern Borno, in southern Adamawa, Tongo to be precise. And that is why while we were introducing our dignitaries or our fathers here, you heard us made mention of the Royal Highness from Ganye and also the district head from Tongo. They are all represented here. This is because this project is also going to, sustained project, is also going to be implemented in the southern part of Borno, which is going to walk around the Gashaka Gumti National Park. And we will be working to ensure that we also contribute our part to conservation. Next slide, please. The Nuru Nigeria model that we will be using to speak or to contribute to what the development plan has already put in place is as you can see it here. First of all, Nuru Nigeria's model is a model or a plan that thrives for 5 to 7 years. When we started in Michika, the questions that came up to us in Adamawa State was, how long will you be here? But they were shocked and surprised because our activities are developmental activities and not humanitarian activities that will just last for 1 year or 2 months or whatsoever period. Ours stays longer. This is about our 8th year in Michika currently. And we have been with these farmers and working with them. Right now, some of us, when we go to the communities, it's as if we have gone back to our families. We feel at home when we go there. You find out these farmers are doing well. They have been able to contribute or increase their income into their household. One of the first steps that we take is to identify communities, just as we have done. We identify communities where we will be implementing our projects, communities that have been marginalized, communities that are hard to reach. We reach out to these communities and ensure that those are the locations where we are going to implement our projects. Second on the model there is we recruit local leadership. Earlier I made mention of sustainability, whereby local leadership contributes so much to the sustainability of whatsoever group or cooperatives we are going to form. The next step there is support agribusiness development. This is through capacity development or capacity building, where we build the capacity of farmers, as I said, in climate smart agriculture, financial inclusion trainings, and lots of other trainings that the project coordinator is going to speak about. And then next on the model is farmers benefit from entrepreneurship. Some of our farmers already in Michika have already passed this stage, whereby because they are now formed into these groups, you find out that they have been able to run it as an entrepreneur, whereby they learn various skills, value additions, and others just to add to their income into the families. Agribusiness are professionals and profitable. That's the next stage there. At this stage, I would say most of the agribusinesses which we have or the cooperatives which we have in Adamawa State are already at this stage at the moment. And we'll be very happy to also reach this stage with the agribusinesses that we're going to form in Borno State. And then lastly is we would replicate and scale to new communities. We won't like our intervention to just stay in one location. That is why when we started from Michika, local government in Adamawa, we moved to Hongangombi local government, and we also scaled to Tongo local government. Likewise in Borno, the sustained project we hope is going to be sustainable and also going to be scaled to other local governments, not just the earlier local governments that have been mentioned here, but we hope we will get more funding and also scale to other local governments. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, the Leadership and Partnership Director, Nuru Nigeria, and the person of Mr. Simon. Thank you for your presentation. And overall, in his presentation, I was happy that all the things that he was mentioning that Nuru Nigeria does aligns with development plan. So the key word for me there was sustainability. You know, it's a very, very strong word for us in Nuru Nigeria as well. And I'm happy that we would be partnering with the Borno State government to ensure that all these activities are sustainable. Ma'ana ayyuka wanda Nuru Nigeria za ta yi a nan Borno ba ayyuka ne na gobe kasuwa ba. Muna so mu gudanar da ayyuka ne na dindindin wanda ko gobe jibi Nuru Nigeria ba ta nan wayannan mutanen da muka gudanar da ayyukan tare da su za su ci gaba da wayannan ayyukan din. Okay, so we would be taking our next presentation. Oh, sorry, please, a round of applause to him. We didn't give him that. Thank you very much. And thank you for your attention. So we'll be taking the next presentation, which will be about the project, about the Sustain project. And this presentation will be taken by the Sustain project coordinator. She will be walking us through what the project is all about. Thank you for your attention. Good afternoon all. So I welcome us to this August occasion that is happening in the month of August. So still standing on the existing protocol, good afternoon all. My name is Sumshe Yakubu and I will be walking us through the Sustain project. How are you? So before we move into the Sustain project, I will be talking about Nuru Nigeria. So Nuru Nigeria is a local NGO that is based here in Nigeria, but with affiliates in the US, Kenya, Ethiopia, Ghana, Burkina Faso, Benin Republic, and Togo. So we work with farmers to design local solutions to the challenges that they face in order to drive long-term positive impact. The managing director, in her presentation, she talked about providing local solutions. She said the community, they have the capacity, they have the solution to their problems. So Nuru Nigeria is here to support them so that we will bring solutions to the challenges that the farmers are facing in order to drive long-term positive impact. So our goal in Nuru Nigeria is to equip Nigerian farmers and their families to lift themselves out of extreme poverty by moving from subsistence to building thriving farmer-owned and farmer-led agribusiness. So this is still linked to the fact that we are just here to support the farmers. We believe that they can lift themselves out of poverty by themselves. So we believe in teaching people how to catch fish rather than giving people fish. And our vision is to envision a world without cycle of unjust poverty, where resilience and hope are cultivated in the most marginalized communities. While our mission is to build resilience corridors of farmer-owned and farmer-led agribusiness and profitable rural livelihood in proximate to conflict vulnerable areas in northern Nigeria by 2030. Next slide, sir. So here in Nuru, Nigeria, we have about 6 activity components. I will just talk about each of these components, and the managing director and the leadership and partnership director in their presentation have talked about some of these components. So in agricultural productivity, we aim to address the root causes of poverty, hunger, and food insecurity. How do we do that? By transforming agricultural production through various innovations and sustainable agricultural practices. So we'll be talking about climate smart initiatives. So we emphasize on climate smart initiatives and we enhance farmers' yield. How do we achieve that? We facilitate access to certified inputs that are drought tolerant and high yielding.
We are all aware of the challenges that we are facing in terms of climate change. Aside from that, we also provide farmers with e-extension and e-weather information, and this guide the farmers in their farming decision. We also engage and establish community-based extension agents, community-based extension agents. We train them in collaboration with Ministry of Agri, whereby they will be able to provide extension services to their community members. We also worked in the small ruminants, horticulture and aquaculture value chain to ensure that farmers have diversified income sources. So the next one is market engagement. Here we have two systems, the community-based markets approach and the engagement with private sector. So here we tackle the challenges across the various cash crop that we work with, aquaculture, small ruminant, and other enterprises that are being established by our farmers. So we link these farmers to both input and output markets, whereby they will be able to access input resources at their doorstep, as well as to sell their products effectively. We also encourage the establishment of medium, micro, and small enterprises, which are crucial in providing goods and services to their communities. Aside from that, it also serves as a household income diversification and employment opportunities for the farmers. The next component is the financial inclusion. So here, what we do here as Nuru Nigeria, we address financial exclusion and build farmers' resilience in order for them to access financial services that are safe, secure, and affordable. We all know that based on our mission, we work in fragile rural communities, that there are no presence of commercial banks. So we ensure that these farmers have access to these financial services. We also work with commercial banks and other mobile money platforms in order to digitalize the farmers' traditional village savings and loans activities. We all know that has a lot of challenges of keeping cash at home, but with this approach, they don't have to keep cash at home. They will be able to deposit their money after their savings activities. We also establish agency banking in the community of intervention. This is to support the digitalization. If we want farmers to go digital, of course, they need to have access. So we establish agency banking in the community of intervention. We also build the capacity of farmers on financial literacy and financial management. Of course, they need to know the importance before they will be actively involved in the process. Then coming to social and behavioral change. So this strategy encompasses of nutrition, hygiene, and health promotion. So it addresses the root cause of poor nutrition, which majorly lies in human behavior, and this is as a result of limited awareness on food utilization. So this approach will improve health and well-being outcomes by addressing nutrition, hygiene, and mental health of the people that we work with. Then the next one is conservation. So Nuru Nigeria intervene in communities that are living at the buffer zone of the Gashakabuti National Park, which is one of the largest parks in West Africa. So Nuru Nigeria supports with nature-based solutions that can store carbon, like afforestation and tree planting, and also that can restore the landscape and protect the biodiversity. So we do that by providing these farmers with alternative livelihoods so that they cannot depend solely on the national park that is facing challenges. And we also train these farmers on the use of alternative resources like the briquettes, as against them using firewood for cooking. We have the last component here, which is gender and inclusion. So this approach is adopted to address the deep-seated dynamic, patriarchy, and social norms that causes gender inequality. Here, we promote women's resources, rights, and representation in their community, as well as the cooperative that we are working with. So we also pay special attention to the vulnerable group. We ensure that our intervention is inclusive and equitable. We ensure that everybody feels included. So we are back to sustain. So the project title is Strengthening Underserved Communities through Sustainable and Transformative Agribusiness Innovation in Northeast Nigeria. That is the Sustain Nigeria project. The implementation period is for 18 months. We've already started. It started from June 2025 and it will be ending in November 2026. And the implementation location is Borno and Adamawa, 2 LGS in Borno and 1 in Adamawa State. The implementation organization is Nuru, Nigeria and GIC. So the target participants will be having 1,000 households in Biu, Bayamusa and Tongo, 500 from each of these local governments that I have mentioned. And the participants will include internally displaced persons, host community members, and employees. Next slide, please. So the program approach. So Sustain project will implement its activities through a group-based approach. In Nuru, Nigeria, we don't deliver intervention to individual farmers. We believe in group-based approach. So this Sustain project will implement its activities through a group-based approach, and the farmer organization or farmer association will be the conduit for this implementation. The next one is the implementation principle, and the MD have talked about that. Community-led, community-owned, and community-sustained. We will involve the community deeply in this project. They will be leading the process so as to sustain the gains of this sustain even after the lifespan of the project. The next one is gender transformative. So this project will take a gender transformative approach to address the causes of gender inequality, both in the farmers group and in the communities. We will also engage youth in different activities like the community-based trade extension agent, both for crop and livestock, and also we will engage youth in green jobs. This is to boost the local economy and to reduce unemployment in the communities of intervention. So the project has 6 objectives. The first one here is enhance agricultural productivity and food security. The second one is economic empowerment and job creation. Then improve access to sustainable energy and resource efficiency. Strengthen community resilience and social cohesion. Promotion of gender equity and social inclusion. And lastly, conservation of natural resource and biodiversity. What are the activities that we'll be doing in order to achieve these objectives that I have mentioned? The first one here is capacity building. So there will be a lot of capacity building for the participants of this project. Like we said before, we'll teach them how to do these things by themselves. So it will involve a lot of trainings. We will build their capacity on climate smart agricultural practices, wood husbandry practices, wood post-harvest management, sustainable land use, financial inclusion training, livelihood diversification training, and a lot of others. We'll also be supporting these participants with input. We'll be distributing input. First, we'll be distributing crop packages to their participants, as well as small ruminants and aquaculture. Then we will teach these farmers how to diversify their livelihood. As we all know, most of the rural farmers depend on fed farming, and a lot of them during their dry season they are idle doing nothing. So this project will support them on how to diversify their livelihood so that they will be having income stream all year round. Then we will also, and this livelihood diversification will focus more on processing and value addition, most especially on the value chain crops that we are promoting. Then the market system engagement, I've talked about it before. We'll establish the community-based market system. We'll work with selected members of the communities who will train them on how to champion the marketing activities of their community. We'll also link these participants to both input and output market, whereby they will be able to access input and also sell off their products effectively. We'll also engage youth in green jobs. I've talked about that before, and this includes like solar installation, compost formulation, briquette making, organic farming, and agroforestry. Then natural resource conservation, of course. I said we are working in the co-person of the Shakaguti National Park. So we'll have a lot of activities that will help to conserve those biodiversity. We'll have a lot of tree planting campaign. We'll teach the farmers on how to be formulating briquettes. We'll be distributing energy efficient stove so that we ensure that the biodiversity are conserved. Then the next one is gender awareness and dialogue session. So the project will conduct a lot of awareness session first among the farmers, that is the participants, that is women and men. Then with the community leaders, with the local government officials. This is to create awareness on all the gender inequalities that is taking place in the community, in the group, and at the LDA. So after that, we'll be conducting a dialogue session. That is where we'll come up with solutions on how to handle these inequalities that we are facing. So a lot of awareness and dialogue session will be happening in the project. Then what do we intend to achieve with all these objectives? What are the intended results? So the first one here, we have increased crop yield and resilience. Of course, if we enhance agricultural productivity by providing these farmers with access to certified seed, extension services, and good post-harvest management, we believe that it will increase farmers. Their yield is increased, it will also increase their resilience. Then we have improved market access for agri-SMEs. I talked about linkage to go into the agri market and the establishment of community-based market system. So this will help the agri-SMEs to access improved market, which means they will access inputs that are authentic, not counterfeit, and they will be able to get better prices for their products. The next one is reduction in unemployment. I've talked about establishing the paid community-based extension agents as well as youth in green job. This will help to reduce unemployment in the intervention communities. Then around increased renewable energy adoption, of course, through the solar installation and use of solar dryers, we believe that these results will be achieved. Then we have enhanced community capacity. This has to do with social cohesion. So I talked about implementing this activity through group-based approach. We believe that through this group-based approach, there will be increased social cohesion because these farmers will be working together. They will be meeting on a weekly basis, and there will be good trust among the people. So this will help to increase the social cohesion of the community people, which will lead to transformative resilience as well. Then we have increased empowerment to women and girls. So through the gender awareness and dialogue session and other gender component of this project, we believe that the women and girls will be empowered. And we have improved management of natural resources. So this is all specific to Tongo on how to conserve the park that will be working at their own go-person. So with the intervention of tree planting, use of briquette making, alternative energy, we believe that the natural resources will be conserved. Then lastly, increase gender equity. We talked about addressing the root causes of gender inequality. So we believe by the end of 2026, or even before the end of 2026, these are the results that we want to see in these three local governments of Biu, Wayakusa, and Togo. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that wonderful presentation on the program activities and interventions. There are quite a lot of activities that Nuru Nigeria intend to undertake on this sustain project. Please, the owner of this car, ABJ 437, is needed outside. Next on our agenda, I will take it again, ABJ 437. Please, you are needed outside. Next on our agenda, we will be taking goodwill messages from our distinguished representatives and participants from the various ministries and agencies that we have in the room. But because of the number of the ministries, we'll just be taking a few of the ministries. So we'll start with the Ministry of Local Government and Emirate Affairs to give us a Google message, and this will be taken by Karimi Babakura, who is the DPRS of the ministry. Welcome, sir. After him, we will take that on the Ministry of Women Affairs.
Very important workshop or training room. Workshop or training room. Our fathers, royal fathers who are here present, my colleagues, good afternoon. This is a very important issue that has to do with the sustainability of our activities in agricultural interests in Borno State and Adamawa. We in Borno and Adamawa, we are an opportunist to have such a very important lesson to our people because of the situation that we found ourselves in nearly 20 years of insurgency in Borno and Adamawa State. It was the worst area in the terms of insurgency is Borno State, because the Borno is the best, like when you look at the local government that we have in Borno State, around 80 or 85% of the local governments were not on ground at that time. But we thank God Almighty for bringing the peace gradually, and we return to peace gradually, and we thank Almighty Allah. And then thank the supporters and those who are contributing for the development of our people with this great opportunity. I'd like to say on behalf of my Honorable Commissioner, I would like to thank the on this, and then the EU, Germany, and Nigeria, and GIZ for this laudable program. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for the good message. Next, we'll invite Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development. This will be taken by Bamanga Sade, who is an admin officer, President Honorable Commissioner. Thank you. Yes.
Permit me to align with the earlier established protocols. Our royal father here present, the government officials, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I stand before you on behalf of the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development. My name is Bamanga Sali. I work with Women Affairs and Social Development. As we stand gathered today here, I want to deeply appreciate each and every one of you for your commitment and input, and also our collective effort foster a spirit of cooperation, understanding, and peace. Thank you. God bless you all.
Thank you very much. Very short and straight to the point. I would like to invite from Borno Borno State Agency for the Coordination of Sustainable Development and Humanitarian Responses, Mr. Maji Umar Mustafa, who is the Data Center Manager for the Borno State Agency. You're welcome, sir.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, everyone. Afternoon, everyone. On behalf of my Executive Secretary, Dr. Babakura Mamagade, and standing on established protocols, sincerely speaking, Nuru Nigeria is the first organization that came into Borno with our 25-year development plan at its background. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. We have a 25-year development plan and a 10-year initiative for the past 4 years, almost 5 years now. And the state is now guided by those pillars, the 9 pillars he has shown you on his presentation. The state is governed actually. The governor insisted that all budgets from all ministries must align with the 25-year development plan. And Nuru Nigeria is doing that right now. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best. I wish you all the best, and I hope and pray that you will expand your area of coverage to more of LGS, particularly those that are prone to insurgency. The central and the northern parts of Borno is the most devastated in insurgency. So thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. Nuru Nigeria is a very compliant organization, and I promise you that we will continue to work with the agency as well as align our interventions with the Borno State development agenda. We have the representative of the local government chairman in our presence, the vice chairman of the local government, Adamu Usman Yarda, and we welcome you, sir, to give us your good message.
On behalf of my executive chairman of the local government, I, Adamu Usman Yarda, here present, sincerely welcome the Nuru Nigerian company. We really appreciate his good effort. So far, as he stated in his speech, they have voted a sum of 6 trillion naira, which will be used within Nigeria. Now presently, we are within the 2 climate shock states, that is Borno and Adamawa state. We really appreciate him. We have already stated that total number of 7 women will be benefited from this organization. This organization is not an NGO, it is a company. So we really appreciate him for his good effort. So we are here welcoming the representative of the Emir from Adamawa State. The district head of view is that of Kusi, Koyakusa. We here appreciate their effort of coming here to present this occasion. We We really thank this organization, and we cannot leave our sincere appreciation to His Excellency, that is Dr. Omar Osman Kadam, who is the Deputy Governor of North State. When his governor leaves to any place, we sincerely appreciate his effort. He can do any assignment within the state. In upstanding the effort of the Professor Bagana Omar Zulum, one of our governors who is well recognized within the governors of the country. So here is all of you for your coming here. So on this occasion. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for that good message. The local government has really been supporting the Nuru Nigeria, especially in the kickoff and the kickstart of the sustain project in Borno State. Indeed, today is thank you. Yes. Today, the blessed day, it has been raining from morning till now. And good enough, we had all the participants arrive before the rain started. I see this as a big blessing. Next, for our good message list, we would like to invite the Wayakusa local government area, the chairman being represented by his very close friend, Abu Hamid Adamuyaga. You are welcome, sir.
His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Omar Zulum, ably represented, distinguished personalities, leadership of the Nuru Nigeria, GIZ, the Royal Fathers here present, distinguished personalities, and my name is Abdulhamid Adamuyaga, representative from the chairman of Corruption Local Government Area. I'm honored to represent the Corruption Local Government Area. Then I'm thrilled to see that our community is part of this implementation. The Sustain project is aligned perfectly with our vision of sustainable development and communities. I want to express my deepest gratitude to the project that is the Nuru Foundation, GIZ, above all Borno State government, particularly the Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Omar Zulum, for his tireless effort in terms of supporting the humanitarian aspect and livelihood. As one of the beneficiaries of FDA, we are excited about the opportunities and the benefit to this project that we bring to our community. We look forward in terms of collaborating and working together to ensure its success. And I wish the entire Sustain project team, and I'm confident to work together, we can build a brighter and more sustainable to our community. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. The representative.
So sorry for the technical issues we're having with the mic. The technician is really working on it, but it's difficult. We would like to invite from the Ministry of Poverty Alleviation and Youth Empowerment, Mr. Mustafa Awia, who is the Director of Admin Services, to come up for his goodwill message.
Good afternoon all. My name is Mustafa Kawia from the Ministry of Youth, Sport and Poverty Alleviation, representing the Honorable Commissioner. And on behalf of my Honorable Commissioner, I wish to express my profound appreciation to Nuru and other core developmental partners to see us relevant and invite us for this event. Therefore, I would like to say the Ministry of Youth, Sport and Poverty Alleviation is ever ready to partner and collaboration with you at any time when there is need. By way of conclusion, I wish to pray to God and to bless this proposed project to be successful. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We have in our presence our royal fathers, and it will be good to also get their blessings on this project. I would like to invite our royal father, Engineer Hassan Osman, the Tafiyan Ghanaian from the Ghanaian Chiefdom, to also come up and give us his fatherly blessings on the sustained project. You're welcome, sir.
Hello. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I stand here as representing Gangari Ganye, who is the Parva Buddha in charge of 3 local governments in southern Adamawa. One of the local governments, Tongo local government, has the part of the national park, Kashaka. Something's wrong with this. Okay, that's a luck. As I said, the Gashaka Gunji National Park is in Tongo local government. Park areas under the Ganye Chiefdom and Nuru Nigeria Limited has been working hard and assisting us. In fact, our relationship is symbiotic. Since our own job is to make sure that the residents of those areas similar. Hello? Okay. Our responsibility with the Provincial Council is to ensure that government policies are understood by what I may say, subjects may not be selected, by enlightening them so that they make them appreciate significance of policies introduced by government. And Nuru is doing just that. Last week, they were in Ganye introducing a program of educating the rural populace. This we feel they will assist us in realizing government objectives and objectives that are good in developing the area. That enlightenment is very important. We have seen what ignorance can do in the last 3 months or so. Government introduced palm canals. Palm canals, people may not know that they can thrive and multiply in Tongo local government, despite the fact that it's in Adamawa state. But the farmers refused to accept. Those canals were imported from Malaysia, and experts showed that with machinery and so on, the village where the canals were planted came and uprooted those plants. Now, it's all a result of ignorance, and we feel that your program will assist in getting that done. Just within a minute, I would like to give an idea. In conservation efforts, of energy conservation efforts, I feel we have neglected wind power. I don't know why, but sometimes in the rainy season, they have clouds. Solar has got limitations. I don't know. While I was a kid, there were wind pumps in a number of places. Gombe, for example, in central Adamawa, Jada, Mayo Balwa. Now this, I know that of Jada is off now, but I didn't know that of Gombe. We have similar ones in Kano. Maybe there's need to reintroduce those to go hand in hand with your solar. Well, we meet later, but we appreciate and hope that we wish you every success in your endeavor. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for the good message and the support that you've been providing to Nuru, Nigeria. We really appreciate your kind support. I think I want to drop this. So we have the final good message, which will be presented by the
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon all. On behalf of my colleagues, District Head of Biu and Gusi, we want to thank the Nuru Nigeria for their support to our community, and we assure them we should give them all the necessary support to see this project have been done in our local government. So we don't have anything to say. We thank you so much for your support, and inshallah we will be with you at any moment. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much. Indeed, the Emirates Council has really been supportive of our activities right from the first day we went to different communities over there. They've really been supportive, and I believe that they will continue to afford that support to be sustained. We're almost the end of the program. I would like to invite our very own the board chair of Nuru Nigeria for the vote of thanks and his closing remarks. After which we will take the special address by our special guest of honor.
Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry, apologies for the rain. We're very happy for it, but now it's causing a bit of a nuisance. On behalf of the board of Nuru Nigeria and the entire organization, I'd like to thank you all for being here with us, standing on all existing protocols. We would like to thank first and foremost our funding partners, the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development, the European Union, and we want to also specially thank the German people for their support and partnership with Nigeria. We would also like to thank our co-implementation partners, Nuru Nigeria as well as GIZ, and their teams of people that have worked tirelessly for us to get to this point. We would like to thank our host states, Borno and Adamawa states, and the communities in our areas of implementation. Thank you all as well to our stakeholders, government at all levels, traditional rulers and royal fathers, our partners, our team, and our beneficiaries, amongst others. At Nuru Nigeria, based on our history and previous work, we are excited, really excited by this project launch in Borno State, and we look forward to achieving all our goals. We look forward to improving agricultural production and market systems. We look forward to improving economic inclusion of women and youth, and we look forward to ensuring social cohesion and community structures. We are sure that by the end of this project in November 2026, we will gather again just like this to celebrate these successes and all of our project objectives. Thank you once again, and we look forward to our project implementation in Borno State. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for the closing remarks. And last but not least, we will be taking the special address by His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Borno, who is the overseeing Commissioner for the Ministry of Livestock and Fisheries Development, ably represented by a true friend and a Dr. Emmanuel Kaida, who is the Director of Veterinary Services. Welcome, sir.
The representative of honorable commissioners here, the managing director, Nuru, Nigeria, the director, leadership and partnership, GIZ field coordinator, local government here represented or present, senior government officials here present, representative of the traditional rulers, by which we have some district heads among us here. Permit me to just say a few of the people that I recognize, members of the press, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Emmanuel Kaidan-Diwa, the Director of Veterinary Services. I'm here to represent the Deputy Governor of Borno State, Alhaji Dr. Umar Usman Kadafur, who also doubles as the overseeing commissioner of the newly created Ministry for Livestock Development. He would have been represented by the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Shetima Ali, but due to exigencies of office and other commitments, the Permanent Secretary also delegated me to come and represent the Honorable Commissioner. Mine is not a special address, but just an insight into the giant stride taken by this administration of Professor Babagana Marazulum, CYN, FSNE, MNI, who has a robust plan in trying to restore and reposition the livestock sector of the economy of the state. And that was visibly seen in the initial 25-year development plan that was developed for the state. That was captured under Pillar 2 in that 25-year development plan, which is leadership in agriculture. And that leadership in agriculture comprised both livestock and agri-farming processes. But I will just highlight a few of the areas that cover the livestock aspect. That 25-year development plan, that Pillar 2, leadership in agriculture, has a plan for a robust livestock vaccination annually, because Borno State is a state that is bordered by 3 countries. We have 3 international borders with Cameroon, Chad, and Niger. And the issue of transboundary animal disease is key to the state and the federation at large. So we have a plan of that robust annual livestock vaccination, especially against transboundary animal disease, in order to reinforce our livestock development plan. The state government, through its massive anticipation for repositioning the livestock subsector, is one of the first states in the country that created the Ministry of Livestock Development after the federal government did so. And notwithstanding, by creating the ministry, the governor also find it worthy to assign the deputy governor as the pioneer and overseeing commissioner, being somebody that has a very high passion for livestock production. Some of us that came from the area, you must have seen the involvement of His Excellency the Deputy Governor in livestock farming activities. The government also, in its attempt to reposition the state as the major livestock producer in the country, goes a step further by creating an agency to support the ministry, which is Borno State Livestock Management Agency. The agency is saddled with the responsibility of our breed and genetic improvement of our local breeds, empowered people with knowledge of livestock production. Key into is called commercial pasture production. So that by the time that we are out of maybe the spend during the off season, we have a lot of feed that our animals can feed on. The government is one of the few states also that key into national and international programs. One of which is the livestock resettlement program of the federal government that was initially tagged as RUGA, that is rural urban grazing areas, but actually is now probably being referred to as livestock resettlement schemes. And the state government livestock resettlement schemes, and the state government has established 3 of these magnificent edifices in 3 locations in the state. One is at Ngarnam, Mafa, that is for the Borno Central. We have the one for Borno North Senatorial District at Gubio, and the one for Borno South at Nuru in Askra local government. All these are aimed at expanding and opening up for improved livestock production in the state. The state government has also keyed into projects such as the Health Press, Livestock Production and Resilience Scheme, especially for areas that are affected by conflicts. And it's a worldwide project. The state government keyed into this and has been paying counterpart funding annually. Key among the mandates of the Health Press is, enhancing the livestock value chain along beef production, hides and skin, milk and milk products. So all these are aimed at repositioning the state as a major livestock producer. And as I mentioned today, even before the launch of this particular program, GIZ has been here with us. They are almost like a household name now in the ministry and in the state. Even last week, we were at Kwaya and Kwaya Kusara and with them, doing some assessment, meeting with pastoralists and international projects around the livestock value chain. So when I heard that they are partnering with Sustain, I just get excited because we were in the office together with them. Isa was here, they met me, we discussed, and I said already, GIZ is also doing a lot of programs for RSA. So, which means it's not a coincidence, but it's just a deliberate attempt to make sure that we achieve what we are aiming at. Really, what I'm trying to say is that the state government has a focus of restoring the means of livelihood of the people that are mainly displaced as a result of conflict. The economic capacity of most of our people here were either large-scale or small-scale livestock farmers. There's hardly a house that you find not having goats, sheep, cattle, or poultry there. So this is a means of rebuilding the resilience of the people by restoring their means of livelihood. The government has even gone far in opening some international cattle markets in areas that we feel before were difficult to go. But the government in January this year opened the Banki International Cattle Market in Bama local government. And the main focus there was to entrench cross-border trade between Nigeria and Cameroon. I think I was at that launch, and the governor of Northern Far North Cameroon was even there, together with the Excellency. And it was a joint kind of agreement that this cross-border trade should be encouraged in order to improve the resilience of the people. In the speech of the Excellency, he said the market is aimed at building resilience and improving cross-border trade among vulnerable communities. The Ministry of Livestock and Fisheries Development, here we call it, in Adamawa we call it Ministry of Livestock and Agriculture. All these were aimed at moving the livestock sector forward, because Northeast is the gateway to livestock production in the country. And Borno and Adamawa are also very, very, very integral part of this livestock producing areas in the Northeast. In fact, we were almost like half of the livestock that are produced in the country will be marketed